Welcome to our deep dive. We're going to be uncovering some really fascinating stories today. It's all about female composers in classical music. We're talking about women who made extraordinary music.
And they really did face incredible obstacles along the way.
It's really going to be eye-opening. Get ready for some aha moments. We've got excerpts from a podcast episode all about this topic.
Yes.
We're going to look at the historical context and the specific challenges and achievements of some really incredible women.
Right.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Because some of these stories, honestly, they're unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that some women, they had to publish their music under a man's name
It's true.
just to get it out there?
Yep.
And get this, there was a symphony composed by an American woman,
Uh-huh.
and it was recently rediscovered in an abandoned house.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah. You really get a sense of the challenges when you hear stories like that. To understand their achievements, we really need to understand the historical context.
Yeah.
You know, for centuries, women were basically discouraged from composing.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't do this.
Yeah.
And they had limited education and not a lot of performance opportunities.
Right.
And then publication. That was a huge hurdle.
Wow.
Sometimes they had to use male pseudonyms
Really?
just to get their music out there.
It's like having this burning passion
Yeah.
inside of you, and you're just told, nope, that's not for you.
Right.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how much incredible music is out there that we don't even know about,
Right.
composed by women.
Yeah.
So let's start with somebody you might recognize the name.
Okay.
Fanny Mendelssohn Hensel.
Oh, wow.
She's the older sister
Uh-huh.
of Felix Mendelssohn,
Uh-huh.
the really famous composer.
Mm.
Now, Fanny, incredibly talented.
Okay.
But she had this immense pressure from her father to treat music as a hobby, not as a profession.
Mm.
He actually said, and I'm going to quote this here, music will perhaps become his profession, while for you, it can and must be only an ornament. That's heartbreaking.
It is. It really shows you the prevailing attitude
Yeah.
at the time.
Wow. But Fanny didn't let that stop her. She composed over 460 pieces,
Really?
including this really evocative piano cycle. It's called Das Jahr,
Okay.
and it depicts each month of the year through music.
Oh, wow.
That's really cool.
Das Jahr. It's a fascinating example of Fanny's artistry and her connection to the Romantic era. Each piece reflects the essence of a month, evoking specific moods and atmospheres.
Amazing. And here's the crazy thing. Some of Fanny's works
Yeah.
were actually published
Uh-huh.
under Felix's name,
Really?
her brother.
Wow.
How many other hidden gems are out there
Right.
waiting to be rediscovered?
It's amazing.
Speaking of overcoming challenges, Clara Schumann. What a powerful example. Child prodigy, concert pianist, composer, wife, mother of 8.
8 children.
8. Wow. Yeah. Claire's life really highlights the struggle women faced trying to balance their creative ambitions
Right.
with those societal expectations.
It's hard enough being a mom,
Yeah.
let alone a mom of 8 and a musician.
Right.
She was married to Robert Schumann, the
Mhm.
composer,
Mhm.
and they had this really deep collaborative relationship, unfortunately. Robert struggled with mental illness later in life. It's just amazing
Yeah.
that she was able to achieve so much musically. On top of all of that, she composed a diverse range of works,
Yeah.
piano concerto, character pieces, art songs,
Those are amazing.
called Lieder in German. They're really fascinating.
Yeah. Lieder flourished during the Romantic era, setting poetry to music in a deeply expressive and intimate way.
So they're like little musical dramas.
Exactly.
Let's shift our focus a little bit now
Okay.
to America's first successful female composer.
Amy Beach. She achieved recognition, despite all this societal pressure, to conform to traditional roles.
It's hard to imagine being incredibly gifted and being told to just be quiet. Amy's husband, he was a surgeon. He limited her public performances to just 2 concerts a year.
What?
And he discouraged her from teaching or building a full career.
That's crazy.
It is. But despite all of this, Amy composed this remarkable body of work, including the Gaelic Symphony, which
Okay.
is the first symphony, composed and published by an American woman.
Wow.
It's really a testament to her talent and her exploration of her musical heritage.
That must be amazing to hear.
It is. It weaves together these grand symphonic gestures with Irish folk melodies.
That sounds great.
It creates this really unique American sound.
Now, after her husband died, Amy Beach, she toured Europe and finally gained wider recognition. What a story.
Yeah.
Talk about resilience. Let's talk about Florence Price now.
Okay.
Another incredible composer who faced both gender and racial barriers.
Florence Price's story, it's really intertwined with historical events, like the Great Migration, when a lot of African Americans moved north, looking for better opportunities.
Yeah.
She faced incredible challenges.
Okay.
Being an African American woman
Yeah.
in a predominantly white and male-dominated field.
In 1933, her Symphony N'Amour in E minor became the first by an African-American woman to be performed by a major orchestra,
Wow.
the Chicago Symphony Orchestra.
That's amazing.
What a moment that must have been.
It was a groundbreaking achievement. It really helped pave the way for greater recognition of African American composers in classical music. Florence Price's music is also notable for how she incorporated elements of African American musical traditions, like spirituals and blues, into classical forms.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it adds this unique dimension to her music.
So creative.
It's both familiar and groundbreaking. And there's another interesting thing about her story. Many of her works were thought to be lost. And then they were rediscovered in an abandoned house in 2009.
That's like finding a treasure.
It is a treasure trove of music history.
We've just scratched the surface here
Right.
with these incredible women.
Absolutely. There are so many other female composers whose stories deserve to be heard.
It's just the beginning.
It is. We've only just started to explore the rich tapestry of their contributions.
You know, it really is amazing to think about
Yeah.
how different the musical landscape could be
Yeah.
if these women had the same support and opportunities
Yeah.
as their male counterparts.
Makes you wonder what we missed out on.
Right.
All those masterpieces that could have been.
Absolutely.
Simply because of societal barriers.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if Fanny Mendelssohn had been encouraged to pursue a professional career like her brother.
Right.
I mean, with the same kind of fervor.
It makes you wonder how much more we would have from her
Yeah.
if she had been given that chance.
Or think about Clara Schumann with 8 children
Oh, my goodness.
and her husband's health concerns.
It's hard enough to be a mom,
It is.
let alone a mom of 8 and a musician.
Right.
I mean, how could you possibly have had the time?
Yeah. It's incredible that she was able to do anything at all.
I know.
It makes you wonder how her compositional output might have differed if she'd had
More
been-
time, more resources.
Right.
You know?
And Amy Beach. Limited to 2 concerts a year
Yeah.
by her husband.
That's just, it's unbelievable.
I mean, she might have reached a much wider audience
Absolutely.
much earlier if she had been able to perform more.
Right.
It's such a shame that so much of their potential was held back.
It really is. It reminds us how gender, race, societal expectations all played a role in shaping these women's lives.
Yeah.
I think Florence Price's story really highlights that,
Right.
how deeply these issues were intertwined.
Yeah.
It's amazing she accomplished anything,
I know.
given the discrimination at the time.
It's so important to acknowledge this.
Yes.
These complexities.
Absolutely. And recognize the barriers these women had to overcome.
Right.
It really makes their achievements even more impressive.
It does. These women, they were not just talented musicians. They were trailblazers
Yeah.
who challenged the status quo
They really did.
and paved the way for others,
Right.
for future generations.
Their stories are so inspiring.
They are.
But how do we make sure
Yeah.
that their legacy continues
That's a great question.
and that future generations of women
Yes.
don't face the same obstacles?
I think education is key.
Yeah.
We need to make sure that music history courses highlight these stories,
Yeah.
these contributions, that they're part of the mainstream narratives,
Right.
not just footnotes.
Yeah. They deserve to be recognized
Absolutely.
in their rightful place in
Yeah.
music history.
Yes. And we need to nurture the next generation.
Right.
Support programs that encourage girls to explore composition, to find good mentors.
Mentorship is so important.
It is. It provides guidance, encouragement, a sense of community.
Yeah.
And it's not just about formal programs. I think we, as listeners, have a responsibility to seek out and listen to music by female composers.
It's about expanding our own horizons.
Exactly. Challenging our listening habits. There's a whole world of music out there
I know.
waiting to be discovered. We can support these composers by going to their concerts, buying their recordings, sharing their music with others.
Right.
Create a demand for their work so their voices are heard.
Yeah. And we need to advocate for greater representation
Absolutely.
in concert programming, orchestras, concert halls, opera houses. They need to be actively seeking out and showcasing works by female composers.
Yes. Give them equal prominence.
Right, alongside their male counterparts.
Visibility and recognition are key.
Right. And when we do see those performances, let's make sure to show our appreciation.
Yes.
Support.
Absolutely.
A standing ovation,
Yeah.
a word-of-mouth recommendation can go a long way.
It can.
It can really help
It really can.
promote their work and encourage more inclusive programming.
Exactly. We need to create a more equitable musical world
Yeah,
where talent and creativity are valued above all else.
I love that. As we continue our deep dive, let's actually hear some of this music.
Yes. Let's delve into their sonic worlds and experience the beauty and power of their compositions. So, are you ready to hear some of this music? After all, a deep dive into composers, it's not complete without actually experiencing their work.
I am definitely ready.
Let's start with Fanny Mendelssohn Hensel. Her piece, Das Jahr. It means the year.
Okay.
It's this piano cycle with 12 character pieces, each one representing a different month.
I love that.
It's beautiful, really beautiful. It's a great example of Romantic era piano music. You can hear the influences of Schubert, Schumann in her melodies, the harmonies, that evocative storytelling.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Of capturing the feeling of each month through music. It's like a musical calendar.
Exactly. And she does it so well, like June. It's just warm, tranquil. And then September, the harvest month, it has this more rustic, celebratory feel.
I love that. It makes you want to experience the whole year through her music. Now, Clara Schumann, she was a brilliant pianist and composer.
She was incredibly talented.
Their Lieder, those art songs.
Yeah.
They're really moving.
They are. And Lieder, they're more than just songs. You
Yeah.
know, they're like these intimate musical settings of poetry. It was a big thing during the Romantic era. And Clara Schumann's Lieder they're remarkable for their depth of expression and the way the piano interacts with the vocal line.
You mentioned one of her most famous leaders before,
Yeah.
Gibst du Schönheit.
Yes. A beautiful piece.
Can you tell me more about that one?
Well, it's a setting of a poem by Joseph Eichendorff.
Yeah.
And it's all about the nature of beauty and love. And Clara's music, it just captures it perfectly. The longing, the tenderness. It's deeply moving, very introspective.
Now, switching gears a little bit, Amy Beach, her Gaelic Symphony.
Oh, yes. A must listen.
I can't wait to hear it.
For anyone interested in American classical music,
Right.
it's really a landmark work. I mean,
Yeah.
it was the first symphony composed and published by an American woman.
We talked about that earlier. It's amazing.
What's really cool is how she incorporates Irish folk melodies
Oh, really?
into the symphony's structure.
So she's drawing on her own heritage
Exactly.
and weaving it into this grand symphonic form.
That's exactly what she's doing. It's incredible. It shows her unique voice and her exploration of what it means to be an American composer. And, you know, she didn't just do large-scale works.
Oh.
Her piano concerto in C-sharp minor, it's another one you should listen to. It really showcases her mastery of composition, her understanding of the piano.
It sounds like quite a powerful piece.
It is, full of virtuosic passages, dramatic contrasts, a real sense of emotional intensity,
Oh.
captivating from beginning to end. And speaking of captivating, Florence Price,
Yeah,
her music is just special.
I agree. Her Symphony No in E minor, it's groundbreaking for so many reasons.
Absolutely.
The first symphony by an African-American woman to be performed by a major orchestra.
A historical moment.
But beyond that, what makes her music so unique?
Well, it's her ability to blend those classical forms with elements of African-American musical traditions.
Right.
You can hear it in her melodies and rhythms, the influence of spirituals, blues. It creates this distinctive sound that feels familiar, but also innovative.
Yeah. I love how she was able to do that, create this fusion of styles, express her heritage through her music.
Yeah.
It really shows classical music is not static.
Right.
It's always evolving,
Yeah.
embracing new influences.
And the rediscovery of all her lost works back in 2009. It's just amazing. It shows that there's still so much out there waiting to be discovered.
It's so exciting to think about all those hidden gems that might still be out there just waiting for their moment to be heard and appreciated.
I hope you feel inspired after this deep dive,
I do.
to explore these works for yourself.
Yeah.
These composers deserve to be heard, celebrated. Absolutely.
They really do. Their stories are just incredible.
They really are.
They highlight the resilience of the human spirit and the power of music to transcend barriers.
I completely agree. And their music, it enriches the world.
Yes.
With its beauty,
Yeah.
depth, originality.
Remember, their stories are just a glimpse into the vast world of female composers. Keep exploring, keep listening, keep discovering. You might just find your new favorite composer.
I think I will. Until next time, keep those ears open.
Yes.
And those minds curious.
Happy listening, everyone.